speaking of something that you're passionate about, which is auditioning, I did buy both of your books. One is arriving, I think, tomorrow, and one is arriving on Monday. So I'll get to read them very soon. The best kind of audition advice that I have ever heard was from John Levy, who I cast you in ER and West Wing. And John said that when you're reading for me, you're not there to impress me as an actor. You're there to show if you're believable as the character. That's it. And that kind of was a turning point for me, because in the little co-star and everything else that you try to audition for at my level, you're always trying to show your range as an actor, and that's not what it's about. So, I know you have a ton of advice on auditioning, but if you had to take your three, top advices on auditioning, what would they be? I know, me again with my lists.
This is, I'll tell you why this is hard, but I will attempt an answer. Just to fill people in who may not know, I've been teaching this class called Audition Psych 101
Yep.
for about 15 years now, because I had a terrible time auditioning when I started my career. Terrible. Not only at the start, in the middle, I personally was very shy and had a terrible time presenting myself in public to begin with, but also auditioning is, can be nerve-wracking. I have, over the years, revisited my thoughts about it and sort of checked them for logic. And I've been able to really walk myself to a place where I really love auditioning now. I love it. And so that's, I teach this class, and it's a 4-hour class, mostly me talking. So there's lots of observations, but what I love is, again, I love being of service, and I love hearing from actors. That changed my career, that changed my life, so that's great. Which is why I put it out in book form so the people who are in places that I don't visit with the class can read it. You're asking me to share my
or any three. It doesn't have to be the top three. Any three that you think would come.
Well, I want to pick up on, I'm going to pick up on what John Levy said, because he's exactly right.
Yeah.
We get in this very strange mindset as auditioning actors of trying to do it right, do it well, impress somebody, be good, be liked, or be cast. Those are a bunch of things we cannot control. We can't control any of those things, whether people like us or don't like us. But also the problem is that pulls us off the task. And I figured out that in acting, trying to get a job is not conducive to getting a job. And the reason why is that the job we're applying for is ER technician, dentist, crazed killer, grieving mom, sleazy lawyer. We want people to be able to watch that and go, that's a sleazy lawyer. Oh, that guy who just walked in and out, that's a UPS driver. And we want to allow people to forget that they're seeing actors. So when we come in with all this effort and trying to charm, and people applying for an acting job, and nobody wants to watch that on TV. So it's a little counterintuitive, as are many of my theories, but trying to get an acting job is not conducive to getting an acting job. What is what I call just, doing the task of the actor, meaning, if I have to tell somebody that the bus is arriving in 10 minutes, I just go in and tell the reader, because the reader doesn't know. I've got to go tell them, and I just do the task of making sure they get that information. And then it's so much easier, as opposed to trying to crack this weird code. Does that make sense out of context? I hope it does.
Yeah, it does. Play the profession. I think that's what you're referring to, and it's
much easier so much easier and less emotionally and mentally exhausting than trying to crack the code of what's going to be the version that they'll choose. Because I have been cast in parts that I know I was not the best choice for.
Huh.
I mean, I think they made a big mistake in several cases. There have also been times that they didn't cast me that I mean, we can't control these things. We can't.
Yeah.
There've been so many times I'm like, oh, I totally nailed that one. Nothing, forget it. No, yeah. So I think overall my philosophy has a lot to do with sort of unwinding some of these faulty mythologies that we suffer under.
Yeah. No, that's perfect.
Yeah.